All right, welcome to Dad Tech. Today we have a product. This is going to be more of an unboxing. There's going to be a further review. So I've had this for a little while. It's not really an unboxing just because it's already unboxed. I've already had a rummage through, had a little play around. All right, so it's this Apexcam and it is 4K and I think 30 frames a second. So this camera was sent to me, so I certainly appreciate you guys for sending it. Awesome. I think I'm in a pretty good position to judge something like this because I've had a whole bunch of different types of action cameras. This whole channel started because of a GoPro style camera, and this is that, but at a really budget and affordable cost. And the things you get with this, I was highly surprised. And if it does what I think it does, and it performs the way I think it's going to perform, great value for your money. And it kind of falls into a couple of slots of, say, a really cheap camera that is waterproof, that can do the action things, that I can put on top of my drone, that I can take underwater. And if I happen to lose it, well, it was not as expensive as the competition, right? But you're still going to get your 4K quality, and you're going to get 30 frames a second. So I'm sure there's going to be some drawbacks here just because it's not $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, right? It's not hundreds of dollars of value. But for what you get, I think it does serve a very good purpose. So here we go. It comes with so much more stuff than I expected. So one, nice little carry case. And actually bear in mind, all of the action camera stuff that I've ever had, I've had to buy the stuff separate. So whether it's a case, actually the GoPro comes with a case, but other ones don't. So whether it's a case, whether it's different mounting systems, whether it's like a lav mic or a dive case, all these extra things you have to invest into. This comes with it, and obviously you get the camera. So that's why I was impressed. So the camera itself comes in a waterproof case, but in its naked form, looks like that. And actually really light and surprisingly light. That's all little dimensions. Obviously screen, not touchscreen, you don't need it, which obviously helps when it's in a dive case because the touchscreen's not gonna work in a dive case, but the buttons do. So obviously the older style GoPros used to kind of be primarily in this before they became themselves waterproof or water resistant. So this definitely reminds me of the older school GoPros, but again, for the price, really can't complain. It's got the mounting feet, which is obviously a big ecosystem which is out there, and you can get so many accessories for the mounting feet. But in here, you have things I didn't even think about. I have a lav mic that goes directly into USB-C, and there's a microphone muff right here. When I first got my GoPro, I never ever would have thought of getting a lav mic. Didn't know what one was, and now I'm rocking a DJI lav mic. So the fact that it's in there is great. A whole bunch of different mounting options. There is the handlebar mounting option, which I remember having to buy one of these, and my last one broke real easy, so I'm excited to get one back. You have a little case right here, or a little cage, almost plastic cage, that comes with 1/4-20 mounting thread on the top and the bottom feet, and that you can use when the camera's naked. So you can use it for different mounting options. Now, you're not gonna probably attach in this format, so let's put them together. Just like a little clicking, there we go. So in this little setup, you're probably not going to mount this to your handlebars of your mountain bike and go plummeting down a mountain, because it could very easily come out. It just takes a little bit of pressure on the top here, on this little lip, and it comes out. So that is something you definitely don't want to do. But if it's just a case of mounting this to a tripod, you got your 1/4-20, and away you go. You've got this little deal, which is kind of like a clip, goes into the back, and then now you have a clip on the back of this camera. And also a little wrench to tighten up your thumb screws, and a remote, which also has little holes, let's call them, so you can put like a wrist strap on. The other thing was, okay, I'm gonna add this in because I found it. Box, batteries. So the battery looks like There you go, pretty straightforward. You get two of them. Obviously one's in the camera right now. So it's a little case to charge it. Pretty straightforward, USB-C in the back, but and little indicator lights at the back. Again, I remember buying these things separate for my GoPro, and one more batteries for my GoPro and two somewhere to charge them, whereas here it was thrown in. So again, impressed. Back to the rest of the video once I remember where to put this. And obviously I haven't had a good chance to test the battery life of it. I've watched a couple of reviews online and apparently the battery life is great. And you get two, whereas I know with my GoPro I only got one. So many comparisons to a GoPro because essentially this is a cheap version of it. For what you're getting is great. Now I know, so I've played around with the camera a little bit. You're not going to get all of the fancy features of a GoPro, like the in-body or the digital stabilization, all the different modes that they offer. But I have played around with this. I have turned it on, went through the menus and navigated it. And it does most everything you need. And again, if it's just one of them cameras that you're like, okay, I've got this attached in a dangerous, odd, weird spot. Don't, you know, if I lose it, then so be it. Then fine. It also has a 3/4 20 mount on the bottom. So it's fine. If this thing were to take a dive off of a cliff and I was to never see it again, I'd be a little bit upset because obviously I want the footage off of it, but I'm not going to be as upset if my camera costs in the hundreds of dollars, right? That would be pretty devastating. So really, for cost, I'm very impressed. And for what you get, I'm very impressed. And also, if say it's a disposable-ish camera that you're looking for, that's this. If it's a camera that say you want to give to a child or an adolescent and they want to learn how to do action camera stuff, then there you go. You could absolutely give this to my son, my nephews, my niece, and I'm not too concerned as to whether this thing's going to get returned to me in the pristine shape that I give it to them. But they can then go and capture some cool stuff. That is the unboxing, the first impressions of this, and yeah, it's great. This is the 30 frames a second version. There's also a 60 frames a second version. I think that has touchscreen too. So I'd be curious to see how that one is. It just shows where the market is. It just shows where technology has gone, where something like this 10 years ago would have been 5 times the price, 10 times the price, somewhere in the middle. So really cool to see a budget version of an action camera, and I've loved them over the years. That's it. I'm going to do more testing. I'm going to do underwater stuff. I'm going to mount it to my bike, mount it to my drone, mount it to me, and play around with it, and I'll show you some of the footage once I have captured more and used it more. So that's it for now. Have a great day. Bye.